That's where I want to start. I'm Andrew Larder from marketingsharks.com. Jeanne Kolenda has put out a product today called Barter Blueprint Pro. And it all boils down to want to trade and not trade money, though it saves both sides money, and not to try and avoid taxes or anything like that, purely to save spending real money and instead spending your currency. And so in her case, there's an example of someone doing landscaping for her yard and her doing probably SEO services and things like that for them. And that's a really good example of what they call win-win. So they do it and give you something that they're really good at, and they have lots of. They have a stock and they're wanting to sell. And so it allows them to sell it. And say they were to get, I'll use $1,000 as an example, $1,000 for it, and then turn around and spend the $1,000 on the same product that they wanted to get from the other person. You can see how the trade basically, I'll do $1,000 worth of work for you. You do $1,000 work for me. We're both $1,000 ahead at the end of it all. We've done some work, some physical labor, some mental labor, whatever. And it's like that. So that's in a nutshell, want to trade. Now we go into the actual, the actual technicalities of it. So I like to always start at the finish. It's a $37 product. Jeanne Kolenda does lots of these kind of guides to interesting little known business opportunities. That's the best way to put it. And so bartering goes back easily 1,000 years. It's been going on forever. I'll cut your vineyard and you give me grapes or give me wine or whatever it is. That's been going on for literally that long. And I remember working, anyhow, it doesn't matter. I'm going to come inside and we'll take a quick look at the product here. Here's a good one. Chiropractic services, and she answered their answering service. And then they did social posting, a website redesign, and some SEO. Our business grew and we opened 2 more clinics in nearby communities. Did the chiropractor get a win? Yes. Did Jeanne get a win? I assume she needed chiropractic stuff for her or a member of her family. Here's another one. The results are incredible. Our website rankings improved and we got more quality leads through organic search. Best part is we didn't have to spend a penny up front. Made for a smooth and successful. She's landscaping and lawn care. P.S. Jeanne's lawn looks great. So one gets more leads. One gets their yard done. Either one has excess inventory that really wouldn't have been sold. So is able to do that. And they both win. So here's what's inside. Core training. I think up here, there's a bit more of a description of that. Let's go. This. Okay, here we go. So what you'll learn in the core training. This is basically the information that's here. Bartering for marketers, how it works. Valuing services and setting fair trades. There's a negotiation here. How much is your SEO work worth? How much is your chiropractic worth? Negotiation and deal structuring, scaling beyond barter. You can do long-term contracts and so on. Best niches to barter with, the benefits of bartering, using bartering to overcome your skill and budget gaps. So you don't have to wait until you have $1,000 to put up an advertising campaign. You buy an advertising campaign and you use your skill or materials or labor to pay for that campaign, and you have it happen right now. How to use bartering to come back from nothing. Perfect for beginners, restarters, and pros. That gives you a pretty good idea what the whole thing's about. I'm going to skip through all the blah, 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 and go down to where there's some more parts to it. Here we go. So core training, we just talked about that. And then you go editable barter agreement templates. It's all set up there. It goes, you're going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and we sign, and away we go. Value calculator, quickly calculate what they're worth, what to ask in return. Tracker spreadsheet. You start doing a few of these. Now I got to do, I don't know. I'll use yard care for SEO just because I can't come up with, that's the last example that we used here. So someone's got to do, 5-10 lawns. Someone else has to do 5-10 website SEO and getting that kind of thing, right? So you've got to, and I'm not saying that's with one person. I'm saying that I'll use 5 different lawn care. Again, I'm just using that as a random example. So you wouldn't help you to have 5 people come and cut your lawn, but 5 different companies, but you get the idea. 5 different, give me an example. Say you had 5 houses and then that would work. I can't even come up with anything. And so on the other side, 5 different SEO opportunities for 5 different websites, say. And you can see you want to keep track of all this because you've signed a contract. You've got them to sign a contract. Here's a reference guide to the easiest surfaces, flowchart of how it works from the beginning to the end, conversation starter sheet. How do you start that? Well, how about saying, hey, here's what I do. Would you like to be involved in that? I remember my experience with Barter. I was working for an advertising company that was selling a program guide for the World Baseball Championships. And I was in Edmonton, Alberta, and I'm like, hey, where am I going to stay? And so I got on the phone, called a bunch of motel, hotel kind of places and went, hey, we'll give you an ad. You give me a room. And, it's a matter of pick a number. It maybe took 5 or 10 phone calls and somebody went, hey, that room's just sitting there. You're basically giving me free advertising. I'm in. So that's the kind of response you get when it works. And the kind of response you don't get is kind of when it doesn't work is the same as sales falling through. I can hear the dog going crazy. I'm going to cut it short. You go to the link in the video description. It'll take you to my site at marketingsharks.com. You can find out all about this. And then the link at the top, click that link and you go through and you can buy it for $37 from Jeanne Kolenda. Barter Blueprint Pro. Sorry, my dog's going mental. Check it out. Click the link in the video description and go check out Barter Blueprint Pro and stop listening to my dog.